Good morning, it's October 3rd. It's a Monday. That's normally the day when I walk along the creek, so I'm kind of going to do that, except more along the lake. This is Wascana Lake, east of Broad Street, so in the wildlife habitat, and over in the distance there, looming in the mist, you can see the university. Actually, I guess that's the First Nations University building there. So I'm going to walk along the shoreline here through the trees, which is something I did a while ago when it was lots of mosquitoes and green and wet. And at the time somebody said, oh, if you do that walk, you should do it in the fall because it's pretty in the fall. And here it is fall, so here we go. There's the Science Center there where I used to work, the powerhouse of discovery, because it used to be an old powerhouse. That's where I was communications officer for about 5 years when it was first starting up in the late 80s and early 90s. And over here is the Kramer IMAX Theater, which was built while I was here. In fact, my brother was chairman of the board when it was built. I still remember the grand opening. I got to wear a spacesuit because we were doing one of the IMAX space films to start with. And the guy, we had the outer shell of a spacesuit. There's a picture of me somewhere wearing it. I don't know what they're doing over there. Digging up something, I don't know what. So along here, it's just kind of parkland, but when you get down a little further along here, you dip right down into the trees. And you could be anywhere. It's like, it might be damp in the dew. I hadn't thought of that. I think there's dew shining on those leaves. But anyway, that's what we're doing today. Excuse me. Let's do that one more time. There we go. There you go. Two roads diverged, and I took the one less traveled by, and that will make all the difference. We're going down here. Oof. You know, try not to twist an ankle or anything. It is a little wet. There was actually water dropping out of the leaves on me there. Hi, Kirk in Vancouver. Of course, I was just in Vancouver not that long ago. We did a hike up the Lynn Valley a ways. While it stayed level, we didn't climb very much. And but I wasn't able to do anything live streaming because there was no cell signal there. Down here, it looks like you ought to be somewhere in the woods, but you're not really. Bicycles come down here some. You can see that in the track. We're going to walk all the way over to the Douglas Park Hill and climb up and get a look at the city in the autumn. So there's some color down here. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. And I haven't even seen any frogs. You can see a bit of color, some red in some of these, some yellow. And far fewer mosquitoes than when I came through here in the summer. Hopefully my signal stays good down here. I don't know how interesting this is actually, because it's just, leaves, but it's different anyway. And I am still kind of walking along the creek because the lake is just through those bushes there. Yeah, all the leaves are quite wet when I brush into them. Get a cold jolt of morning dew. Not Mountain Dew. Morning dew. They still make Mountain Dew? I haven't had Mountain Dew in years. It's never my favorite, but I do remember it. I haven't had Dr. Pepper in years either. That was even more of a favorite. Coming from the south, as I do. Oh, we could go up there, but we're going to stay. Oh no, we won't go down there because you run into a trash-strewn bit of the lake there. So here you can see we are actually in civilization. There's a power pole. Yeah, down there you run into the water, which is not very attractive this morning. And there's the university over there. All right, now we will dip back down again after climbing over that culvert. Yeah, more damp leaves. Who's there? Good morning. Well, yes, it does feel like you're walking in the deep woods somewhere, even though you know you're just in this little thin strip of trees along the shoreline. Like I said, it's better now than it was in the summer with the mosquitoes when I came down here. Don't know if you could do it in winter. I don't suspect it's cleared in any way. It would depend on how many people beat down the path for you. It's a lovely morning, pleasantly cool. Going to 21 today. There's a few places like this where people have put boardwalks over muddy stretches, sometimes muddy stretches. Oof. As always, the hazard is that I'm not watching my feet when I'm doing this as much as I should because I'm watching the screen, and that has come close to tripping me up or twisting my ankle once or twice, as it did just then when I stepped on a rock that I didn't see. So I should try to watch my feet a little, not my feet, but the path ahead of me a little more closely. The camera will take care of itself. There you can see the lake again through the bushes. Like I said, normally I walk along the creek on Mondays, but I just did that on Wednesday, so I thought I'd do this differently. Didn't walk yesterday. I had too much other stuff to do, and I had to pick up my wife from the airport at one point, and publishing tasks, and I put a podcast out yesterday with Sangu Mandana, who's a noted UK author, primarily of children's books, but her first adult novel has just come out. She was fun to talk to. A little annoying in that she had her first publishing contract when she was 21. She got a head start on it. Took me a much longer to get to the point where I got a contract from a major publisher, but let me see the dew glistening there. Dew drop in. Again, you can go right down to the water, but it's not very appealing right now. It's actually going to be better when it's frozen. Then you could walk onto the lake down here, I guess. Again, it just depends on if people keep using the path in the winter, whether you would want to walk down here. If there was heavy snow, it would not be fun. Too much like work. There's quite a high embankment here. Which is the other thing that makes it feel like you're down somewhere private and wild. Stepping stones. There's probably water in here sometimes. Down this low. Went through a web there. Didn't see it till it was too late. Shapers of Worlds Volume 3, the anthology I kickstarted featuring third-year guests of my podcast, will be out next week from tomorrow. And so I'm working on that today. I need to get the hardcover version figured out. interior's the same, but the covers are quite different because the way the binding works, you have to adjust the sizing of everything. And hardly anybody buys the hardcover, but I still like to make them available. They're better for libraries. If libraries would buy it. I'm going to send out, once I have all 3 books that have come out this year, the new ones, the Emir's Falcon, Thickwood, which goes live tomorrow, and then Shapers of Worlds Volume 3. I'll try to do a little bit more general new releases from Shadowpaw Press and hopefully hit the libraries with that. I do have some librarian email addresses from when I was a presenter at the Saskatchewan Libraries Association annual meeting, which was fun, and might do that again. Culvert. Water looks a little better here, a little more appealing. And there's gulls and some other things over there. Some sort of long-legged wading bird. Carry on my wayward son. Gotta be careful, I'll get a copyright hit. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Looks like there's a path down there, but I'm not sure there is. Certainly not as well beaten. I think it just ends in the lake if you go this way. It might go around the corner here. No, it just kind of peters out. There's enough of a path that people must have gone down there, but I don't know why they would. Canoodling in the bushes, maybe. It's a funny word, canoodling. I should look up the etymology sometime. Oof. Very close to the water now. In fact, it's right there. You don't encounter as many walkers down here, that's for sure. Another culvert. More water. Well, the same water. Down we go into the depths again. Very high embankment. I presume that's a dike that was built for flood control, not natural. I don't see how it could be natural. And when things melt, I would imagine the water gets quite high down in here sometimes. Certainly wouldn't walk down here right after in the spring when this ice was melting. I don't think. At least not on many portions of the track. And down we go into the shadows again. I think we're about to break out of the woods to the more open territory. We go on this way, we'll come to the I can't remember the real name of it, but it's the hill in Douglas Park. It has an actual name, and I've looked it up, and I never remembered. I want to call it Douglas Park Hill or Goose Hill or something, but it's a hill anyway. Really landfill. And it got higher when they been there a long time in some fashion. There's a nice little fall view to the legislative building. But it got a lot bigger when they deepened the lake a few years ago, because that's where they piled some of the dirt. There's another one I've climbed out by the Sask Polytechnic and Wascana Country Club. That there's the Center of the Arts, or the Connexus Arts Center over there. Roberts Plaza apartment building. There's another hill out there I've climbed, which is also landfill from that project. Disc golf hole up there. What those strange basket things are. I gather disc golf is taken off. Oh, can I go down here? Looks like I can. I didn't walk down here last time I came along the path. I stayed up there, so. This is brand new. Not that exciting, because we're immediately out in the open territory again, and the other path is right there, but still. There's the other path. But I took the path less traveled by. Don't know that it's made much difference. Went to 4 last night. Still hasn't frosted, which is unusual. We would certainly normally have had our first frost by now. Last year I think we had quite an early one, as I recall, but it's hard to remember. You can never remember the weather. That's why when people say, oh, it's so unusual this year, if you look back at the records, you'll often find, well, no, it was like this in 1924, 1938, that sort of thing. And we only have records going back to the 19th century, so we do know it was very cold here. The latter part of the 19th century, colder than it is now. On average, we still have bitterly cold days. It's quite pretty on the lake. Well, we'll climb up the hill and get a really good view here in a few minutes, because that's what we're about to do. It's another disc golf hole there. There's a bit of an overlook here. We're going to go up there. I will pop out here though, just to see what you can see from here. Here we are. The eastern part of Wascana Lake. I don't know if it has a different name. Over there's the Science Center where we came from. And then looking on towards downtown, which is in that direction. Lots of birds still enjoying the open water. All right, let's climb the hill. Climb the hill. No, Jack and Joe went up the hill, that's it, to fetch a pail of water. I think we'll go up this way. That one goes more around the hill, I think, and I want to get up to the pinnacle up there. Get the very best possible view. Edward will climbed the hill to live stream his adventures. Ed fell down and broke his crown. At least he saved his dentures. I don't wear dentures, but it rhymed. That's called poetic license. So you could have kept walking down there, but maybe I'll do that sometime. But not today, because part of my purpose was to climb this hill and get an autumn look at the city. And then we'll head back. Still have lots to do, so I won't try to stretch this out any more than it naturally ends up being. Oh, prairie chickens. I think. Don't think they're quail. There's some more. They tend to run, not fly. I'm not chasing you. Don't worry. Just walking here. Keep climbing. It's not a very steep climb. They make a distinctive sound I can hear in the grass. University ho! Ahoy, I should say. Well, the University ho as in land ho, but I want people to get the wrong idea from the use of the word ho. Oh, let's take a little steeper climb here. Bicycles have come down here. I doubt they ride up it very often. That wouldn't be much fun. Almost to the top. The pinnacle of Mount whatever this is. And I know it has a proper name, but here's the highest point, if that matters. We have summited. And now you get a nice view of the whole city. You can do a 360 from up here. So there's downtown. Nexus Arts Center and the Legislative Building. Roberts Plaza, that sort of, whatever you call it, along the edge of the lake there. There's a path there I've often walked along as well. And you swing on around to the University of Regina. You keep going. On the left there is First Nations University of Canada. Quite a bit of haze hanging around today. Carry on around this way. That's Douglas Park down there below us. Those lights mark a football stadium and sports field. Mostly residential in that area. You can usually see the landfill, but it may be too hazy this morning because it's taller than this is, the actual landfill. Way over there is Co-op oil refinery, upgrader, heavy oil upgrader, whatever it is now. There you go. And that's about as colorful as it gets. I mean, it might get a little yellower, some of those trees. It's hard to say. But we don't get a lot of red. Yellows and greens mostly in the fall. Okay, let's go down the hill and head back. But we won't follow the same path going back. We'll stay here in the open. Then I'm heading downtown to do some riding in a coffee shop for the rest of the morning before I head home for lunch. Don't think I'll eat lunch out today. Picked up about 3 pounds on our trip that I want to knock off quick, so trying to eat lightly. Although when I do eat out, I mostly have a salad because I've been eating lightly for quite a while now, and I managed to take off. Well, from the start of the pandemic, I'm down 35 pounds-ish, 30 to 35 pounds. But I lost to 10 pounds immediately, or 5 anyway, simply because I wasn't going out and eating and drinking beer while I worked. Funny how that adds up. And then we started doing Weight Watchers, which we've successfully done in the past, and it's worked for both of us to take off a few more pounds, which is what we wanted. theoretically I'm supposed to weigh like 190, but I've only ever weighed that once or twice, and everybody thought I was sick. That's quite skinny for me. 200 would be nice. I'll settle for 205. I'm at about 213 this morning. I was at 209 before we went away, and I didn't worry about it while we ate in restaurants for 10 days, almost. But I can fluctuate 5 pounds in 2 days easily at my size. So I think I will knock it off fairly easily, at least get back down to that 209 I was at. And then hopefully keep it that way. Or lower, hopefully lower. Yeah, let's go down this way. We'll see a lot more people now on the main part of the path here. Oop, there's our first rabbit. He looks fairly calm. Rabbit or snowshoe hare. Apparently we have both. I can't tell them apart because I haven't looked to find out. I thought all we had were snowshoe hares, but apparently we do have actual rabbits. Rabbit should be smaller. He looked pretty big, so I suspect that was a hare. Hare today, gone tomorrow. Let's take this path. It's not the same one we came along. It's more in keeping with the morning's theme. Just parallels the main paved track there. Not exactly parallel because it's curvy, but parallel-ish. There's somebody in the woods. Not that they're woods really, but there's somebody in them. I don't know if they had a dog or not. Usually there's a dog involved. I think they went back to the main path here. So I'll never know if they had a dog or not. One of the things I did over the weekend and I have to do today for Thickwood, which comes out tomorrow, is figured out how to sell audiobooks directly off of the Shadowpaw Press website. They're pretty big downloads. So the Emir's Falcon, which only runs 4 hours and something, is 200 and some megs. And Thickwood, which runs over 11 hours, is over 500 megs. So you can't just upload that through WordPress without, well, I had to make a change in settings so I could have bigger files, and I had to FTP it, if you care about the technical side of these things. Anyway, I made it work, as far as I can tell. My website was down last night, and I'm worried that I've stressed its resources by putting such huge files on it. I might have to upgrade my hosting. Technically, all of the various domains I have are subdomains of edwardwillett.com. So it's the one with the hosting plan. The rest are just domain names, and then they're all hosted under edwardwillett.com. And I could upgrade it to a higher level. It's at business standard, I think is what they call it. There's a higher level, which I might want to do, because I think so I could walk back this way, the same way, only stay up above the trees. But I think I'll go a bit further this direction instead. There's our first joggers of the day. And there's a dog over there, so that's, bingo. Kind of leaving the lake behind a bit now as we go this way. If we go this way, we can go through Candy Cane Park. This side of the road. Oh, hello. MD Yusuf. Probably Muhammad. Yeah, it's very pretty this time of year. Well, it's pretty many times of year, but it's fall. Although already some of the trees starting to look a little bare, but mostly they've still got leaves, and the leaves are changing color. Not as pretty as Ontario, where they have lots of maples. The maples turn red. Ours are mostly yellow-green, a few orange, and occasionally something red, but not as much as in some autumn forests. Like these aren't exactly red, they're kind of purple. And I don't know that that's a fall color. I think this one's actually turned purple earlier in the summer. Then you get some, like that one that sticks up directly ahead with the kind of orange tips at the top and the rest of the leaves yellow. That's pretty. So, residential area starts over there. So now we're back looking at the lake again. Connexus Art Center straight ahead. Lots of picnic areas over here. How long have I been so far? 33 minutes, so this will be under an hour, but that silver box over there is the IMAX. That's where we're headed. That's where the car is. Still lots of green. Not all the trees have changed yet, so we should have color for a while yet. That one over there, though, looks like it's dumped everything and is already gone to winter bare. I'll cut across the grass to avoid those people. Don't interfere with them. Still lots to do in the shade there. Feet are squeaking on the wet grass. This is a bathroom. That's what they look like in the park. 2 bathrooms, oddly enough. One for each sex, of which there are only 2. I just want to make that clear. It's the playground. Nobody playing on the playground. Well, there's somebody over there. I'll avoid them. I don't like to point the camera at kids, but do you want to show? This used to be a dinosaur, I think. That looks more like a goose on the other side. This slide, I mean, and there's a bit of a climbing wall here, kid size. Yeah, it's a goose now. I'm sure it was a dinosaur at one point. Kind of playground I loved as a kid. There you go. And my daughter liked the playgrounds too, but I am past the point, and so is she, where we have to look up playgrounds everywhere we go. Or look for playgrounds everywhere we go, because she's 21 and doesn't hang out on playgrounds nearly as much as she once did. Doesn't seem like that long ago, but it's been a while. Notice board of things coming up. I'll go back over here and rejoin the path we were on. That's Candy Cane Park, that dead tree that's painted like that. It looks a bit Halloween-y to me, but it's been there forever. It may not have always been dead, but as long as I can remember, it has been. Well, obviously it wasn't always dead. I mean, I don't think they painted it while it was still alive. But they might have. Well, this is just parking lots, so let's cross over to the other side. Cross on over to the other side. Little Jim Morrison for you there this morning. Connexus Art Center. Again. Parking lots. Parking lots are never scenic. These leaves are too wet to be crunchy, unfortunately. So I like crunchy leaves. This is not a playground over here. This is an outdoor gym. You can see somebody's actually kind of working out on it. This is where the pavement ends, where the sidewalk ends. Shel Silverstein. Poetry book, famous poetry book. Oh, there's another candy cane tree there. So this is the gym over here, and then there's a skateboard park over there. Nobody on it this morning. This looks fresh. I wonder if they're planning to extend this further, given over time. Probably are. Well, since there's no one in the skateboard park, we can take a turn into it. Oh, there is somebody. He was just hiding, so I guess I won't go in there. And there's the Kramer IMAX Theater again. Car is just the other side. I'll walk around this end of the Science Center since I walked along the other side previously. So actually only half of that is the IMAX. The rest is part of Sask Power's I guess their research facility. Sask Power being the provincial power company. Probably tell from the Sask and the power. Crown Corporation, so it means it's government owned. There's no private power to be had. You take what the government gives you. These blue signs are new. The old ones were brown. My wife doesn't like these. They are kind of dull, but they are legible, I'll give you that. Again, residential over there. I've walked there a few times, not recently. You can tell it's a power facility because it has like power things. These trees must be a lot bigger than when I first worked at the Science Center, but I don't remember. You don't notice. It's like they always look the same day to day, but if you went back and looked at pictures, you'd realize how much they'd grown. They may have been mere saplings 30 years ago when I started at the Science Center. 34 years ago this fall. Fall of 1988. Although we weren't here, it was still under construction. It was in April of 89 that it was opened by Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, whom at the time everybody thought was such a wonderful couple. Didn't know anything about Andrew. And of course they split up. And now we know lots of things about Andrew that we'd probably rather not know. All right, we'll go down here to the parking lot where the car is, oddly enough, parked. And that will be the end of our walk today. Tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. I often walk downtown on Tuesdays, but I'm not sure about tomorrow. I do have something at 2 o'clock in the afternoon I have to be home for, so that kind of cramps my style. I will walk somewhere. I haven't been into Lakeview yet with the trees changing, so I might do that. That's an easy one, just across the creek. Don't have to drive anywhere. Here's the main entrance to the Science Center. This is the Sask Power facility here. And the Science Center, as I said, that brick building was actually a powerhouse. That's why it's called the Powerhouse of Discovery. Logo was created while I was here. The gift shop used to be down in here, but I don't think it's there anymore. I don't know if they gave up on the gift shop or they just moved it. Anyway, it's just a room now, it looks like. I haven't been in the Science Center for a long time, actually. Alice had a birthday party there once or twice. And there's a lovely food fair they have with restaurants from around the city providing food and wine. There's various wineries there and all that kind of thing. That's always fun to go to, but obviously the pandemic killed it for a while. I think it may be back, but we haven't been. This is the Ukrainian outdoor science park. There's a large Ukrainian community here in Saskatchewan. So it's kind of outdoor sciencey things you can, but are also things you can play with. And the car is up here, so I will stop more or less where I started. Right there. So, thanks for walking with me, and like I said, I should be back tomorrow for another lovely fall day, I hope. Bye for now.